the earlier which what we discussed was your section 12. That was regarding the procedure for the registration of the trade union, where we had discussed about how, when and where your particular registration can be cancelled and regarding the same. Now the next is your section 13, which is talking about the rights of the registered trade union. अगर मेरी trade union registered है, see, even that is not a compulsion thing. Registering of your trade union is not compulsory. But if suppose if you are not registering, then what can be the issue and what are the rights if I am getting my union to be registered? Now the registered trade union will have perpetual succession. That means to say it will keep on continuing even after the members are no more in existence, even the death of the particular person has been taken place, or even if the members are no more in existence, or the still till the time the trade union is in there, your trade union will keep on continuing. Every registered trade union will have a common seal similar to your company. If you must have remembered, the company is having one of the characteristics, it is having a common seal. That is a kind of a authentication which it can give, yes, we are registered. Every registered trade union can acquire and hold movable as well as immovable property. So we will have a particular clarification. Okay, these particular are the property of the trade union. Every registered trade union can sue others. That means to say they can file a case against others, and at the same time others can file a case against them also. That means to say every registered trade union can sue or be sued also. Now moving to the next part, that is your section 15, which is talking about your object on which the general funds of the particular trade union can be spent. यानी जो मैंने आपको कहा था कि एक फंड मेंटेन करने की जरूरत है इन योर ट्रेड यूनियन, जो हम लोग कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन 1 रुपी 3 रुपीज एंड 12 रुपीज का कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन जो हमारे मेंबर्स दे रहे हैं, सो उस फंड को किस वे में यूटिलाइज किया जा सकता है अगर मैं जनरल फंड की बात करूँ. सो फॉर पेमेंट ऑफ द सैलरी, अलाउंसेस एक्सेट्रा टू द ऑफिस बेयरर्स ऑफ द यूनियन, जो बेचारे जो आप लोगों के ऑफिस बेयरर्स जो काम करने वाले हैं, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव काम करने वाले हैं, तो उनको पेमेंट कहाँ से मिलेगा? यहीं पे से फ्रॉम योर जनरल फंड. पेमेंट ऑफ एक्सपेंसेस फॉर द एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ द ट्रेड यूनियन including other expenses spent on the defending any legal proceedings or against the trade union, any particular legal cases are going on, so उस सब चीजों के लिए this fund can be utilized. Then settlement of the trade dispute, अगर कोई particular parties के बीच में कोई dispute हो रहा है तो उस केस में उन लोगों को एक particular monetary benefit देने के लिए for settling the dispute that can be done through a general fund. Then special allowances to the members, including the dependent of that particular members of the trade union account for the death, sickness or accidents etc. during that time. यानी अगर किसी की जरूरत के टाइम पे अगर उनको पैसा चाहिए तो उस टाइम पे ये जनरल फंड में से पैसा निकाला जा सकता है. It can be utilized. Even the dependent, suppose किसी की डेथ प्लेस हो गई है, so unfortunately they are dependent upon others, so during that time they can get this fund from the state. To the compensation to the members for loss arising to the debt dispute, यानी अगर कभी कोई लड़ाई हो रही है, कभी कोई डिस्प्यूट हो रहा है, तो उस टाइम पे क्या होगा कि they will not have job or something, during that time the fund can be utilized by them. Now providing educational, social, religious benefit to the members, so जो मैंने आपको कहा था recreational facilities, entertainment and all, so उन सब चीजों के लिए छोटा expenditures करना वो कहाँ से होगा? यहीं से होगा, from the general fund. Issue of assurance policies on the living of the members, or that is life of the members, also against the sickness, accident, unemployment insurance etc. So ये सब चीजें because of इसी बात है जब ये यूनियन फॉर्म की किसके लिए? वर्कर्स के बेनिफिट के लिए. So during that health problem, during that any particular disability problem, अगर उसको कब यूटिलाइज नहीं करोगे तो कब करोगे? So that can be utilized for that. Providing for publication of the periodicals, for the use on which it is can attended by the members benefit. So ये क्या होता है? Every now and then जब भी members को अगर कुछ information चाहिए होगी तो उसके लिए periodicals, magazines kind of can be issued and that can be published. Any such other objects that may be notified by the appropriate government in the official gazette can be utilized this particular general fund. So ये जनरल फंड की जो मैं बात कर रही हूँ, ये जनरल फंड उसी वे में यूटिलाइज किया जा सकता है if you have maintained a proper record and everything, and you have seeken the permission from your appropriate government. Now, next is your separate fund for the political purposes. So obviously बात है, जब मैं बोलती हूँ इलेक्शन एंड ऑल की जब हम बातें करते हैं तो उसके कारण उस टाइम पे कहाँ से पैसा आएगा? फ्रॉम योर स्पेशल फंड ओनली. सो स्पेशल फंड हैज बीन डेल्ट अंडर योर सेक्शन 16. तो सेक्शन 16 क्या बोलता है? अ रजिस्टर्ड ट्रेड यूनियन मे कॉन्स्टिट्यूट अ सेपरेट फंड इन एडिशन टू द जनरल फंड. तो चाहे तो एक सेपरेट फंड मेंटेन कर सकता है. Now, the payment of such fund shall be utilized for serving civic and political interest of the members. So, election and all जो civic and political members के लिए जो उनकी requirement fulfill करने के लिए कहाँ से आएगी? From this special fund. Now, the fund can be utilized for the following purpose. कौन सा? Holding of any meeting or any particular distribution of literature, document, support, candidates के लिए, legislative purpose के लिए, उनके appointment के लिए, उनको maintain करने के लिए उसके लिए हो सकता है. Then for a particular legislative body, for running a constitution, for providing them the convention of the political meeting and all, distribution of the political literature, documents and all, documents की printing and all के लिए utilize किया जा सकता है. Now the registration of the electors or for the selection of a candidate for the legislative body, यानी अगर अपन ने कोई अपॉइंट किया पर्सन उसके लिए उसके अपॉइंटमेंट पे जो एक्सपेंडिचर्स हो रहा है उस ऑल चीज के लिए ये पॉलिटिकल फंड. बेसिकली ऑल आई वांट टू से ऑल द पॉलिटिकल थिंग दैट यू प्रिज्यूम कि which can the fund can be utilized. No office bearer or the members of the registered trade union shall be punished under your for any punishment or criminal conspiracy if he has done anything for the benefit of the trade union. Now, this has been specifically mentioned in your section 17, जहाँ पे बोलते हैं कि अगर criminal cases are defined as the case may be for two or more person agreed to commit a criminal offense or commit any illegal offense. अगर ऐसा कुछ इलीगल काम किया है तो उनके ऊपर केस होगा. बट नो रिगार्डिंग मैटर्स फॉर स्पेंडिंग द जनरल फंड और प्रॉपर पर्पस फॉर द बेनिफिट ऑफ द ट्रेड यूनियन. मेंबर्स के बेनिफिट के लिए अगर वो यूटिलाइज करते हैं तो उनके ऊपर कोई क्रिमिनल रिकॉर्ड्स एंड केसेस नहीं होंगे. बट अदरवाइज इफ दे आर यूटिलाइजिंग द फंड generally for the purpose and उस टाइम पे अगर कोई लॉस थेफ्ट कुछ होता है तो then that is an unfortunate reason and you can't file a case against them. Now, moving to the next part is your section 18. अब वो 18 क्या बोलता है? Immunity from certain civil liabilities. अगर मैं ट्रेड यूनियन की मेंबर हूँ तो मुझे कोई बेनिफिट मिलना चाहिए. Yes, that is being discussed under your section 18. Now, the trade union or its members showing interest or interference in the matters of the removal of the labor, any kind of hardship to them, then they should be protected from them or protected from any particular charges on them. The trade union or its members showing interest in the matters compensating or remunerating the employees, they should be benefited. उनको प्रोटेक्ट क्यों? क्योंकि वो जेन्युइनली लोगों की हेल्प आउट करना चाहते हैं, लोगों को प्रोटेक्शन देना चाहते हैं. So then in that case they will not be liable for any legal proceedings or civil proceedings or in front of the court for committing any activities which is going to be benefited to the trade union. Now the registered trade union is not liable for vicarious liability. Vicarious liability मतलब जहाँ पे अगर किसी एक पर्सन ने गलत किया तो उसके केसेस में दूसरे पर्सन को लायबल कभी नहीं किया जा सकता. So for that reason, that is the benefit which is being given against the civil liability. Now, next part is about your amalgamation of trade union. Amalgamation मतलब जहाँ पे दो और उससे ज़्यादा ट्रेड यूनियन को एक साथ बना करके एक पर्टिकुलर ट्रेड यूनियन बनाई जाती है. Amalgamation. That means to say any two or more registered trade union may become amalgamated together as one trade union with or without dissolution and division of the funds, and such trade union is known as amalgamation of trade union. Now that has been specified under your section 24. Now provided this amalgamation can be taken place if the voting has been done and they have got the support of at least 1/2 members of each of the trade union. यानी ट्रेड यूनियन A है, ट्रेड यूनियन B है, हमको AB को मिला करके AB ट्रेड यूनियन बनानी है. And in that case, each one should have 1/2 members been voting in support of that, and that has to be recorded. Now, at least 60% of the votes recorded are in favor of the proposal. Yes, we are ready to do the amalgamation. Further, when we are talking about the amalgamation, a written notice of the change must be communicated, signed by the secretary and 7 members of the trade union of this to the registrar of trade union. Obviously बात है, रजिस्ट्रार को सब पता होना चाहिए. तो जैसे ही हम अमालगमेशन करते हैं, हम इसकी इंफॉर्मेशन किसको देंगे? रजिस्ट्रार को देंगे. Now the trade union name should not match with the other union trade unions. ये हमको सबको पता है, दो ट्रेड यूनियन का नाम सेम नहीं हो सकता है. तो जो भी नया नाम डालोगे, it should be something different. Now the registrar, if he is satisfied with all the requirements provided by the members of the trade union, then he will get the registrar will validate the amalgamation and enter it in the register. So आपको again आपकी amalgamation को approval दे दिया जाएगा and the registration will be done. Lastly, अभी हमने amalgamation की जब बात कर ली है, lastly coming to the concept of your dissolution of trade union. Dissolution का मतलब होता है trade union को wind up कर देना, खत्म कर देना and no more they are going to function. The notice of dissolution, now again it has to be signed by the secretary and 7 members of the trade union. Now it should be sent to the registrar. Registrar को एक notice भेजना पड़ेगा within the 14 days period of time from the date the dissolution of the trade union has taken place. यानी अगर आज मैंने अगर ट्रेड यूनियन को डिसॉल्व किया है तो विद इन 14 डेज में मुझे रजिस्ट्रार को नोटिस देना पड़ेगा. Now if the registrar is satisfied with the provision and the rules followed by the members of the trade union for dissolution, he will be confirming the dissolution. आपने प्रॉपर बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स वेंड अप किए, आपने फंड्स प्रॉपर्ली डिसॉल्व कर दिए, सब कुछ कर दिया है, then in that case the approval will be given. Now जो अगर सपोज एक्सेस फंड्स वगैरह बच गया है, then in that case the fund shall be divided by the registrar among its members and there is no rules mentioned for the trade union in the distribution of the funds. So there is no specific way through which the funds have to be distributed. All these particular things are being specified as the appropriate governments feel so or as the registrar. This was your full concept right from the initiation of the trade union, registration to dissolution of the winding of the trade union. Now, some of the well-known central trade union organizations in India are AITUC, All India Trade Union Congress, then Bharatiya Mazdoor Sangh, BMS, then your Center of Indian Trade Union, then Hind Mazdoor Kisan Parishad, then Hind Mazdoor Sahab, then Indian Federation of Free Trade Union, National Front of Indian Trade Union, National Labour Organization, NLO, which is very famous, then Trade Union Coordination Center, and lastly your National Mazdoor Union. Now with this, we have finished up with the concept of your Trade Union Act of 1926. Thank you.